match. I just figured you had it memorized by now.
Sure, but it's a tradition at this point. Visit my favorite aunt,
Only aunt?
watch her most epic victories, and now also stress about what I have to live up to in my debut at Survivor Series tomorrow night. Why are you laughing?
Oh, nothing. Just that if I didn't know better, I'd say you were nervous, which is super hilarious, because I know that I didn't teach my favorite niece
Only niece?
to be nervous about getting in the ring and doing what she does best.
Yeah.
Especially not when she's been trained by one of the biggest legends in the business. If I'm being honest, there's really no comparison.
You really do manage to turn everything into a compliment about yourself, don't you?
Of course I do. I'm a 6-time women's champion. Would have been 10 if my career hadn't been cut short by injury.
I get it.
A main eventer and Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Who had the top merch sales in the 2003 fiscal year.
Okay, you've made your point. I should get ready for tomorrow.
That's my girl.
As the mystery SmackDown competitor, shouldn't I have been shuttled in secretly or something? The whole golf cart with the black sheets get up?
Don't worry about it. No one knows who you are. Yet. No one knows who you are yet. Tom!
Justine! And LJ too? It's so good to see you both.
Same here, Tom.
Wait, do you even still go by LJ? Man, it was always a hoot and a half having you backstage when you were a kid, dressing up in Justine's gear, being her shadow, her little Justine. But suppose you're not 8 anymore, huh?
It's fine. But I am trying to get known on my own here.
I've heard. Good thing you're debuting tonight. The secret's pretty much out backstage. A few more hours and it'd be out to the entire WWE universe. You doing something here tonight too, Justine?
Nope, just here to support my niece's big moment.
Come on. Surely you'll find some way to steal the spotlight.
Molly.
Justine.
Wow, I've got a... I better go check on the, Yeah, I got no good reason, but I'm gonna leave now.
I heard you were working backstage these days.
Beats sitting at home, talking to the internet.
It's called a podcast, and it's very popular.
But I'm not here to resurrect old rivalries.
Would you really call it a rivalry if there's a clear conclusion and undisputed winner?
I was actually here to greet our newest WWE superstar, wish her luck,
She doesn't need luck.
and let her know that I'll be working with her to get her ready for her Survivor Series debut this evening. Is that all right?
No, that's great. I'm so excited to be here representing Team SmackDown.
Great. Get settled and then let's talk. Justine.
Please don't make things more difficult for me on my first day. Besides, you two were friends once.
Sorry, you're right. It's just... Well, you know what she did. It might be ancient history, and there's no reason for her to mess with you, but be careful with Molly, okay? I'm gonna go say hello to people. You alright?
I'm all right. I'm ready.
Yeah, you are! I love you, kid. You'll do great.
I hope you don't think we're going to be friends. I certainly won't be taking it easy on you tonight.
Why would you think I'd want to be friends?
Because we both come from...
Sorry if I offended you in some way.
Ugh.
Hey, nice to finally meet the EST of WWE.
What? Isn't that you?
As in new S superstar in WWE. Ready to show Team Raw what's up tonight?
You know it.
Now that's the...
Yeah, they said they were really trying to keep my debut.
I get it. I mean, the WWE...
Listen, I love my aunt. I even spent summers traveling with her on tour growing up. But it's important for me to make my own mark in WWE. Hopefully I can do that tonight.
You know the EST...
Hi, I'm...
LJ, little Justine. Yeah, I overheard. How precious.
Yeah. I was actually going to say I recognize you from NXT 2.0. Ava Moreno, right? You had some great matches with Cora Jade. I didn't realize you had gotten drafted to SmackDown.
Guess your famous WWE legend aunt hasn't been able to get you up to speed on everything.
Honestly, we've been pretty busy prepping for my debut. I'm a little out of the loop on everything else. Who's your match with tonight?
I don't have a match on the show tonight. Not all of us are able to skip the line, LJ.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. There's a lot to take in and I'm still trying to get the lay of the land.
Let me lay it out for you. A girl named Ava works her whole life to be the best athlete she can be. Excels at some things naturally, puts in the time to get better at the rest. Gets signed to WWE, continues to grind at the Performance Center doing everything the WWE way, makes a mark on NXT 2.0, wins her matches, and gets signed to SmackDown. Sounds pretty great, right?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Some of us work hard. Some of us work harder. And some of us, LJ, get to waltz into Survivor Series and get put into a match that the rest of us, those of us who have done everything by the book, would kill for.
My aunt is a legend, but I'm good at this. I got here on my own. I'm not just some nepotism signing.
Got here on your own? We'll see what happens tonight. Maybe you are good, and you'll prove that. Regardless, I haven't been given the same opportunity on this brand to prove how good I am. So excuse me if I don't play nice with little Justine, the legacy hire.
Sorry I wasn't able to check in with you sooner. It's always nuts backstage before a major show. And I lost a full 20 minutes to Happy Corbin, who wanted to practice a stand-up routine on me. Luckily, Xia Li overheard and protected me from his bad jokes. How are you doing? Feeling good about tonight?
Honestly, I'm ready. I've trained my whole life for this.
All right. Let's take that confidence, earned or not, and channel it into a great debut. For what it's worth, despite my history with your aunt, it really is my goal to help you succeed here.
You guys have some history, huh?
That's a conversation for another day. Stick around here long enough and you'll have history with everyone. Alliances, rivalries, heck, we even have our fair share of weddings. Although those rarely seem to work out. But let's talk about your debut. I've got your custom gear ready.
Custom gear? What do you...
Honestly, I get it.
No, I mean...
Huh.
But I brought my...
Listen.
love my...
All right.
Hold on tight, we're about to witness one of the most anticipated Survivor Series matches in years.
And one of the most anticipated debuts in years. This rookie superstar could be the second coming of her legendary Hall of Fame aunt, Justine.
Don't get your hopes up, Saxton. By the looks of it, I'd say this rookie's here to blaze her own trail.
Fujiwara armbar applied.
Making the arm numb makes your opponent very vulnerable.
She's calling for it.
Arm is trapped, hooked up, Northern Lights suplex.
Oh, wait a minute, there's more to come.
The final cut. Oh, look at that, embracing her adoring public.
Great awareness as she proves to be too quick.
Well-delivered suplex. She's not worried about this crowd. She's not going to let them phase her.
Kick to the midsection.
She certainly has the confidence of her aunt. Looks like she's setting up for the Justine Jammer.
She's putting her own mark on an old classic.
Not if Charlotte Flair has anything to say about it.
You only have one chance to make a first impression, and this one might include a hurt ankle.
And Rhea's taking advantage. Riptide, covered by Ripley.
Rhea got her.
With the elimination, Team Raw now has the advantage.
What a letdown for the Blue Squad.
She definitely didn't expect to be out so early in this match. The top rope mishap and an apparent ankle injury played a key role in that.
And it looks like Charlotte Flair is determined to add insult to injury.
Wait a minute, Hall of Famer Justine is here.
We haven't seen Justine in a WWE arena for over a decade.
One thing is clear, the WWE Universe is thrilled to see this venerated six-time women's champion here tonight in any circumstance.
And it looks like Justine is just as thrilled to see them. Things might not have turned out how she wanted for her niece, but she's loving this crowd.
I'm just hoping that Justine can get her niece on the right track. After this debut, she certainly needs some guidance.
Did you hear that pop?
What? The sound of...
Oh, how is that ankle?
Ankle's okay.
You really went...
I'm the niece of one of the most venerated WWE legends of all time. I needed to make my own mark and stand out. I still do.
You need to take your time and not...
Believe me, I'm...
Nah.
Right.
Listen.
I'm not, but I will be.
That's my girl.
What was that about?
Sorry.
You grew up...
I can't.
I don't know what happened out there.
And you decided to do something.
It's not my fault.
Listen,
Maybe
of
you're-
great.
But what people forget is that for someone to win, someone else has to lose.
It is better to win, though.
Of course. Actually, speaking of winning, I have a few developments that Ruthless Digressions listeners will be thrilled to hear about.
Oh, care to share with those listeners or your co-host?
Like I told my niece at Survivor Series, patience, Robin, patience.
Hey! Thanks. You know, after what Liv said at Survivor Series, I wasn't sure if I'd be getting the warmest welcome today.
Oh, you won't be. But I have a different perspective than the rest of the girls. In fact, I'm actually usually pretty rude to the newbies because, well, I don't want them coming for my SmackDown Women's Championship.
I'd like a championship someday, but I plan to put in the work and build myself up to that.
You're so funny! Someday, if your huge mistake at Survivor Series...
I think we're done here.
LJ.
Yeah, not the day.
Well, you're here now.
Thanks, Tom. I think I have.
Fantastic.
So,
That's great to hear.
what do you have for me tonight?
Now, here's something that's...
Don't worry. I took your advice to heart. I'm okay with starting small, out of the spotlight. I'm not expecting to main event.
good, because you won't.
So, my match tonight is.
Non-existent.
Ah. What can I do? I don't want to just sit in catering.
No one does.
How am I supposed to do that if I can't get him?
I said I couldn't get you...
Pretty busy or pretty mad at me? From the sound of it.
Yeah, I may have heard those rumblings.
We've met. I'm not sure she wants to work with me.
Neither of you have to work with anyone. You just have to show up and fight each other.
Well, if it isn't little Justine. I would say I'm sorry how your big debut turned out, but I don't like to lie. What do you want?
Let's cut to the chase. I want a match on main event. Molly said she can get me one if I find an opponent. It sounds like getting that exposure could help both of us. Are you interested?
Sure.
Great. That was actually easier than I thought.
Oh, but let me be clear. I want a match on main event, but not one against you. I want to make an impact here in WWE and make my matches count. It doesn't help me at all to defeat some jobber.
What did you just call me?
If I wasn't perfectly...
Regardless of what you think of me,
I know as well as you do that no one else in the locker room is gonna help you.
I don't waltz.
We can agree to disagree.
Are you flying out for some exciting mocap action too?
I am.
This is going to
Sorry
be
you have to settle. Why would I be doing all her moves?
Because you're doubling for...
I don't want to make a great Justine. I want to make a great me.
I hear you. I guess they just think there's no one in the world who's...
I'm not into it. I'm going to try to cancel my flight.